Since Borderlands 2's release, we haven't gotten anything like it since. It's like an itch that needs to be scratched. Since then, we've gotten the pre-sequel, a very fun game which I very much enjoyed but was a step down from Borderlands 2. Borderlands 3, gameplay-wise, was an amazing game, at least for me. In some ways, I prefer it over Borderlands 2. It looked amazing, the guns were great, the characters, most of the time, were great, but other than that it had some major flaws. We've also gotten the likes of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I'm still yet to play, but I'm sure I will do in the near future. Though from what I've seen, it is meant to be great. The game is just a money grab. We've got Tales and new Tales, but I'm not going to talk about them today. All of the games I've listed have nothing compared to Borderlands 2. Another game like Borderlands 2 is what the community wants. It's what the community deserve. I'm praying that Borderlands 4 will deliver, giving us a great game, though it's not looking too hopeful as there have been leaks stating that the game has been rushed to aim for the release date to be around the same time as the film releases. Another leak that's been talked about on social media recently is that we will not be getting a Borderlands 2 remastered, but a Tiny Tina's 2. Yes, you heard me right. With the game being pretty much dead right now, well, not dead, but certainly not in its prime. Not that it ever had a prime. It is averaging about 500 to 1,000 players on Steam with an all-time high of just 15,000, which I think is pretty sad. In fact, it's not sad, it's just disappointing that such a big studio releases a game which on Steam has an all-time high of 15,000 players, which is astronomically low, while Borderlands 2 has a game which was released almost 14 years ago, has about 1.5 to 4.5 thousand players, with a respectable all-time high of 124,000. Borderlands 3 having a current player count of about 2.5 thousand players with an all-time high of 94,000, which, to be honest, I expected a lot more from such a good game. But what is pretty much dead is the pre-sequel, having about 200 to 500 players with an all-time peak of 67,000, which I was pretty surprised by. To be frank, the fact that the series still has so many creators creating content on the games is amazing, though to be honest a good amount of their content for some of the channels is criticism, though it's still content. Creators such as Hellfire, Jolt's Dude 1 through 9, Morning After Kill, Killer 6, the list goes on, and now I missed a good amount of creators, so I apologise. One of the many reasons Borderlands 2 is so loved is because of Handsome Jack, one of the best villains of all time. He is just the perfect villain for a Borderlands game. His character design is amazing, his personality, his voice, everything is just amazing. I really hope that Borderlands 4 gives us a high-end villain. Troy and Tyrone are a bit of a joke, so I'm praying that Gearbox has a comeback and hits us with a phenomenal villain. Even when you disregard Jack in the story, it's great. Maya, Nueva, the storyline is just perfection, though a good bit of that is thanks to Handsome Jack. The side missions, which in my opinion can be found in the main story, just chilling playing some fun and goofy side quests for a few hours, is just perfect. I really do think that Gearbox really hit the nail on the head when making the side quests and the characters for them. Even the playable characters are all unique and all very fun to play as. When you play as a different Vault Hunter, it's almost like playing another game. You have different ways to finish off enemies, meaning you'll have different strategies, different approaches, different weapons in each playthrough. The graphics, yes, they don't look like the modern days games, but I still think they look amazing. They have that old nostalgia feeling that when I see it, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's almost like I want to play more and want to get sucked in. The soundtrack is phenomenal, like, let's be real, Borderlands 2 soundtrack is an absolute vibe, definitely one for long road trips. The map, for the most part, and when I say the most part, there's like one or two POIs that I dislike. Other than that, they're amazingly designed. Yes, you can tell it's made almost 12 years ago, but it still holds up phenomenally well. The game for me and for many others was a life changer. I don't think I'd be the same person if it had not been for Borderlands 2. The game has completely changed how I look upon video games now. From the very start to the very end, the game keeps you hooked. Yes, it has its flaws, but it's still phenomenal. Handsome Jack, the perfect villain, great characters to play as, fantastic NPCs, the list goes on. I hope that Borderlands 4 will do just the same as 2. Borderlands 4 is the game that will revive the series. It has to. I feel that the series being revived is what we all need. It's what we all deserve. That's it for me. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day and see you next time.